Hey now guys, it's Knockout21. How are y'all doing today? In this video, I'm going to talk about a little device that could bring new life to your Sega Dreamcast. Now, as we all know, the Dreamcast is going to be 20 years old this upcoming September 9th. Just a thought about it makes me feel old. Pretty old. But that's besides the point. As we all know, optical drives have a tendency to break over time. And with a device like the Dreamcast, it's proving difficult to find a replacement drive. 5 or 6 years ago, this happened to me. I stopped reading the game discs. I fiddled with the laser in the back. It just wouldn't work. So it set me into a bit of a panic. And ultimately, I went online to look for something that could help me out. I came across a GD-EMU, but getting a hold of one of those things proved to be way too difficult. So I continued looking and eventually came across the USB-GDROM drive. So basically what this thing does is a replacement for the original GD-ROM drive inside Dreamcast. Anyway, let's move on to the next segment and I'll explain a little bit more of what it does and how it works. Okay guys, so this is my Dreamcast with its top shell taken off. Here is the USB-GD-ROM drive. I'll throw up an image to show you how it looks like without the shielding and whatnot. But yeah, this is it. It's fairly easy modification to do. All it is opening up your Dreamcast, removing the broken GD-ROM drive and replacing it with this USB one. And that's that. That's how you pretty much install it. However, the thing you gotta watch out for is what kind of USB drive you're gonna get. Now when it comes to USB drives, quality is key. You see, when I first started using the USB GD-ROM drive, I was using this thing, the PNY 64 gig flash drive that I bought at Fry's for like $5. I'm not gonna lie, this does work to a degree. However, you're gonna come across a couple of issues. For one, it doesn't load the games half the time. Sometimes I had to like turn the system on and off and then it would load. Or sometimes it'll take too long to load the next segment or the next level or something. Resident Evil 2 comes to mind. I remember going from one screen to the next and having to take forever just to load the next screen, and it really threw off how I played the game. So yeah, I quickly figured out that yeah, it was the quality of the USB drive that I should probably get another one. The one I personally use is this Cruiser Glide from SanDisk. These are always going on sale, and I'm pretty sure they're on sale right now because of the back to school season. So yeah, this is the one I definitely recommend. You see, it's a 64 gig. Let's take a look. There you go. 64 gig Cruiser Glide. I highly recommend this one. Or you can use a hard drive if you want. You just gotta make sure these things are formatted at FAT32. If they're not, then it's most likely not going to be able to read the flash drive. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to get games on this thing. Okay, so what we got here is a replacement Dreamcast that I got soon after my original Dreamcast died. So yeah. But that's besides the point. What I'm going to talk about is an operating system called Dreamshell. Dreamshell is basically a kind of like a Windows kind of thing for the Dreamcast, and you basically have to rip it onto a disk. Doesn't have to be one of these; it could also be the regular ones. But basically, you rip them onto a disk and have it load. But you're also going to need something else. You're going to need an SD card reader for the Dreamcast. I'm going to go ahead and move the camera, and I hope you can see it right there. Yeah, that thing right there. You're going to need one of those. I'll put up an image on the screen so you guys can have like a better picture of one. But yeah, you're going to need one of those, and they're fairly easy to find. They cost around $10 on eBay. So yeah, be sure to get one of those. And basically what you do is just load the Dreamshell operating system and go into the GD Ripper app and start ripping the games onto the SD card. However, the process is going to take a while. It takes more or less around, I would say, half an hour per game. Give or take a couple of minutes here or there. But yeah, the average is around half an hour. Okay, so once you're done ripping your game onto your SD card, you're going to want to stick the USB drive onto your computer. Remember, it's the one, it has to be formatted in FAT32. Anyway, we're going to go ahead, open that up. And yeah, you can see right here that I have a file called Launch Dashboard. It's basically the operating system for the USB GD-ROM drive. I'll leave a link down in the description so you can download it yourself. I'll talk about it right now, but yeah, I'm going to open up DC USB. You could organize your games any way you want, but I just put DC USB just to keep everything in a single space. And then you're going to want to go ahead and open up the SD card. And since we ripped Air Force Delta, we're going to move the entire Air Force Delta folder, here, gotta get a hold of that, onto the DC USB folder on the USB drive. And there we go. It's going to take a little while, depending on your computer. This USB drive isn't a 3.0. I don't think 3.0 USB drives work on the device. So just stick to 2.0 USB and it should be fine. But yeah, let's move on to the next segment. Okay, this is the website I was talking about earlier. It's a Russian website, 3do-renovation.ru. Despite being Russian, it's safe. Don't worry about it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's the guy just trying to sell his wares. And as you can see, he has other things for sale too. But we're only going to be focusing on the USB GD-ROM controller. Basically, the web page gives a description and features. FAT32, as I mentioned before, has unlimited subdirectories, fast loading time, and this is something else you have to watch out for. Compatible with only VA0 and VA1 models, basically the first generation Japanese models and the first generation North American models. Anything after that, like VA2, is incompatible. So if you have a VA2 system, this device is not going to work. But besides that, it just gives a description and what it can do and stuff. The reason I brought you here to this page here is so you could download a necessary file. It's this right here, rootinit.rar. And basically, of course, it has a necessary file, the launch dashboard ISO, basically the operating system for the GD-EMU. You're going to go ahead and put this at the root of the USB drive like I showed earlier, and that basically will get it running. So once you have your USB drive ready, just pop it into your USB GD-ROM drive, turn on your Dreamcast, and pretty much just wait for the menu to pop up. It's this menu you see here. Of course, I'm using a different folder system because I recorded footage off a different USB stick. But yeah, turn it on, select your game, and pretty much start playing. Now, as far as I know, this thing has like 100% compatibility with all retail titles from all regions. You could play import games. You could play like later release titles like Breaker's Revenge. And as far as I know as well, you could play like homebrew games as well, like things like Beats of Rage or things of that nature. So this has more compatibility than originally thought of. And there you have it, guys. The USB GD-ROM drive on the Sega Dreamcast. Should you get one? In my honest opinion, yes. It's definitely worth it if you got a broken disk drive in your Dreamcast. My disk drive broke. I had no way to play the games. This was a way. However, how I ripped my games was only available to me because I had a separate Dreamcast that was still able to read a disc, and that's how I was able to rip the games. If you guys got a working Dreamcast right now, I do recommend you start backing up your games, because sooner or later your GD-ROM drive is going to break. So my recommendation, go on eBay, get yourself an SD card reader, go online, burn yourself a copy of Dreamshell, and start backing up your games. And for those of you who already have a broken Dreamcast, you're probably going to have to resort to piracy. I do not recommend it. It's a bit of a legal gray area, so I'm not going to leave any links to where you can find disk images or anything like that, but that's probably your only choice. I would recommend the GD-EMU, but getting a hold of one proved to be very difficult. Before getting the USB-GDROM drive, I actually did try to get a GD-EMU, but it was very, very difficult. I either woke up too late or missed it or whatever. So the window of opportunity to getting a hold of one of those was very difficult. That's why I went to the USB-GD-ROM drive. That's why I went to the Russian dude, Nemo, I believe was his name, and got his. Ordering one from him was fairly easy. I just filled out an order sheet, PayPal him, and that was pretty much it. In about a month and a half after that, I received my unit, popped into my Dreamcast, and that was it. Anyway, this was Knockout21. Please comment, rate, and subscribe, and like always, have a good one. Take care, you guys.